Didn't throw a complete game, but man, he had the swing and miss. I'm talking about Max Fried of the New York Yankees, obviously. Went 7 innings, Trevor, 13 punchies, allowing only 3 hits, has a 2.92 ERA. We knew how good this guy was when he was with Atlanta, but he is everything that the Yankees could have hoped for. What did you take out of his outing?
He's just classic Max Fried. The guy throws every pitch that exists, and he's a guy who they need to be hot and be hot right now with him and Rodon and Heel. Like, they need their 3 guys ready to go 1, 2, 3 in the playoffs, assuming that it's a wild card berth. You got to be ready to go right away. So great timing for that. But absolutely filthy, throwing high 90s. Again, he is weird. I've heard a lot of hitters talk about this in terms of like how the ball comes out of his hand. Sometimes it's like it's spinning like a 2-seamer and it's a 4-seam, and sometimes it's like a cutter and he doesn't even really throw one of those really. So it's like he's just dip, dive, and dodging them up there, and always has been. And then you add the type of stuff, the velo behind that, him striking out 13 guys doesn't surprise me one bit. I believe that's his 18th win. So you can't always say this. I think it's important. I think we focus on the negative a little bit too much sometimes, but you got your money's worth from signing Max Fried this offseason. I'd say that one has worked out so far.
I like the dodgeball reference, dip, dive, duck, dodge. The Yankees closed within 3 games of the Blue Jays, of course, who lost earlier in the day to the Rays. We're talking about yesterday. New York's edge over Houston, Seattle remained at 2 games for the top AL wildcard spot. 2 weeks ago, I said the Yankees weren't making the postseason. And now they're 3 games ahead in the wild card. Shows you what I know. But let's talk about Max Fried a little bit more. We talk so much, you guys, deservedly so, of what Aaron Judge does, Erik Kratz, who is your MVP in the American League. You've been very strict about that. We talk so much about what he means to the team. But what has Max Fried meant, especially in the absence of Gerrit Cole? Luis Heel took a bit to get back. Carlos Rodon has been good this year for the Yankees, but Max Fried, what he's done, I think, means more considering they don't have Gerrit Cole.
For sure. I mean, when you go out to sign a guy like Max Fried, you're like, whoa, can you imagine? Game 1, Gerrit Cole, Max Fried, game 2, Carlos Rodon, game 3, Luis Heel, game 4. Like, that, they had dreams of this. Cole goes down. Rodon has stepped up immensely for this team. I think he does better when he's in a spotlight, like when it's like his turn to go. He's taking the next step for me. Heel's been down. They've had guys like Slittler and Will Warren step up for him. So it's not what they thought the Yankees rotation was going to look like. So that's how important the Max Fried signing was. So many teams signed pitchers and the pitchers didn't work out this year. But they didn't go for the Max Fried, the Corbin Burns, the trade for Garrett Crochet. They went for we'll just get a 1-year deal. We'll give this guy a 2-year deal, but we see a lot of upside. Yankees said, screw it. Who's the best pitcher available? He wants a bigger contract than David Price got. We'll give it to him. They broke that record for left-handers. Bang. Now they're paying the dividends. And I'm going to go back to 2009, the last time the Yankees won the World Series. What Max Fried is doing, don't compare the numbers, just compare how important it is and the fact that it's the first year that they signed this guy. The Yankees won the World Series the first year they signed CC Sabathia. He was the best available in the market. The Yankees are in line to make the playoffs, not according to Alanna Rizzo 2 weeks ago, but they signed Max Fried, the best available pitcher, and he is having that type of year that CC had, where the numbers aren't like, whoa, like a 1 ERA. He's out there every single day. Now he's leading the league in wins, which matters.
Yeah, Yankees, by the way, only have a 2-game lead over Houston and Seattle right now. I apologize. That was my mistake earlier. I said 3, but it's only a 2-game lead. Trevor May, did the New York Yankees have enough to get to the World Series and moreover win it?
Absolutely. I mean, they've been a deep team. They have, there's a couple question marks in the bullpen, but some guys have stepped up. At least the bridge side of things has been pretty strong with Fernando Cruz, and I know Leiter Jr. struggled a little bit there in the middle, but he has been better as of late. So they have enough depth. They have enough guys that can step up, and it's one of those lineups like, a Cody Bellinger. He's been, I think, under the radar very good this year. They have guys who can take over games, and they're always going to have the threat of the home run. And that is just something that, if it's timed right, can be just devastating in a playoff situation. We saw it happen last year. They're for the most part, most of the players are back, and guys who experienced it and had that experience under the belt. So yeah, it's one of those things. Like, if the Yankees make the playoffs, there is a path forward, because they probably have a handful of the best players in the league. They always do, and that remains true. So it's all about getting hot at the right time. Though I think things have evened out since that 2009, and that's why it's been tough for them. But they still make the playoffs every year. So yes, I'll never count the Yankees out. Call that just a little bit of PTSD from my entire life. But they're always in it, and they always have a chance.
Spoken like a guy who's pitched the majority of his career in the American League. Any concern about the Yankee bullpen, Trevor May, Erik Kratz? If you take a look at the numbers recently, they're 29th as far as their ERA ranking since August 1st, being the worst in the majors, teetering between basically north of 5.5.
I think maybe they picked up some dudes that got worn out by their other teams. I mean, because their starting rotation is giving them some length, and their bullpen there's a lot of new guys. With Bednar stepping up, that is huge. I think Luke Weaver may have come back from the IL too soon. That was during this August 1st stint. And they have 9 games to figure out who is going to be the hottest going into the playoffs for them, because that's who they're going to ride. There's no going to, let's find a soft landing spot. Every time I turn on the Yes Network, that's what I hear. Oh yeah, Aaron Boone's looking for a soft landing spot here for Devin Williams, for Camilo Duvall, for who else? Like, it's basically Leiter Jr. and Bednar and Fernando Cruz if he's throwing strikes. You can't find a soft landing spot in the playoffs. You need, in my opinion, if you want to win it all, you need 4 or 5 guys that you can count on. If you want to hope, you have 3 guys. And right now, I think they're right in that 3 guy. I hope they all do well and we get 7 innings from Max Fried.
A win on Friday, guys, puts the Bombers 20 games over 500 for the first time this season. So it's not like they're not winning games, but they definitely need to play more fundamentally sound baseball. Obviously, pitch, defense, you guys know it better than anybody else, having been in this league as long as you have. Be really quick, Trevor, before we get to break, we've had this conversation a lot. It's been the topic du jour, if you will. Who's your AL MVP? Judge? Raleigh?
It's the boring answer. It's very likely Judge. I think things needed to happen, or still, I mean, it's still possible. I think if there's, in this last week, major heroics from Cal Raleigh that in a Mariner sweep of the Houston Astros to give him the division, like if something like that happens, or he somehow gets to 60 homers, or even crazier, he's hit multi-homers in 10 games this year. If he just rattled 3 more off and got to close to Judge's record, I think that story might push him forward. But just the offensive differences are he's just 80 points ahead of him in batting average. I understand the batting average isn't our end-all be-all statistic, but like almost 100 points, that's just too much in my opinion. But you never know. There's something called voter fatigue. Sometimes you just want to see a different option if it's really close. This has happened a lot in the history of baseball. So, but I think just in terms of just general, straight up, most valuable player, I mean, it's just really hard to say it's not Aaron Judge every single year. So he's probably the front runner if we're going objectively on statistics. But that's not how humans work. No, so we'll see.
I get it. I don't think there's a wrong answer. I mean, everybody, of course, who wants the other guy is going to say that they made the wrong decision, but I completely understand where you're coming from.